You know, the thing is, we've actually been seeing each other out there in the world of bluegrass festivals this summer, and there are a lot of bands. There are a lot of bluegrass bands, and there are very few that write just about all their own songs. And this is one of them. You guys, and Graham, you're a prolific writer. So Woody and Graham here from Steep Canyon Rangers. So, do you write every day? Do you write every week? What's your discipline?
I try to write every day. I mean, I try to somewhere fall between not forcing it and forcing it.
Yeah. And the band is usually receptive to the stuff when you say, hey, I wrote a new song. They go, oh, God, you got another one. Jeez.
You got to pick and choose your moments for that.
And you're not the only one. Obviously, you contributed. Everybody had a hand in new songs on this record.
Yeah, I'm not at all the only one. Woody and his wife, Shannon Whitworth, wrote a song for the record. And Mike Agino wrote an instrumental. And Charles Humphrey, the third, writes several songs.
Yeah.
So.
So let's talk a little bit about the early days, because I know that, when did you guys meet?
We met in the dorms back in college.
In Chapel Hill?
We can't remember what year that was.
Yeah. I never went to college, but I imagine I would have more friends and more stories if I had, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Graham and Charles and I have known each other since our freshman year at the University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until our senior year that the band kind of came out of this friendship.
Yeah, but you started playing music together in college.
Right about then, from scratch.
Yeah, just getting.
If there's anything less than scratch, that's where we started, really.
That's called drunk scratch. But there is a very cool thing about Western North Carolina, and I know people have said this part of Colorado and Asheville, for example. There's some sister city kind of things that happen there, but it's a beautiful part of the country and such a deep musical tradition. We all know about Doc Watson. We all know but Asheville itself has had that great outdoor performance thing in the green there for generations.
Yeah, shindig on the green.
Yeah. Was that part of your youth when you were growing up?
It wasn't for me. I grew up in Greensboro, which is right in the middle of the state, and it's, a lot of the best bluegrass and string music in the world comes out of there. Yeah. But as, I was I wasn't aware of it at all. And
you were at the mall.
I was at the mall, and, and then when we were at the dorms, it was kind of the same as the mall. We were surrounded by all this great music all around there, and we didn't even really know it. We thought we were kind of on this island as students, and there wasn't really anybody else playing this music. And then all of a sudden our eyes opened one day and figured out where we were.
Yeah, you would think that our exposure came from the mountains, but it really came from the Piedmont. When we got into it in Chapel Hill, like Graham said, we searched out in the county and found these second-generation bluegrass guys and chased them around and went to their parties and learned from them, and they accepted us. It was
that's great.
It was pretty exciting.
Well, it's a deep tradition all over that part of the world, but it's interesting, and I can't help but mention the fact that as a young band, as you guys got together, as you started developed, you got a big shot in the arm when you started working with Steve Martin. That was a bit of a game changer, I imagine.
Yeah, everybody looks for a break in the music business, and we didn't think ours would come in the form of a celebrity like that, but it was a really nice shot in the arm. It was a random meeting at a dinner party, some emails. He got really excited about picking with us, and next thing you know, 5 years later, we've done a couple hundred shows.
Yeah, and some amazing shows among those, right? I seen the pictures of you in front of the Capitol in Washington, and just amazing venues, and what comes to mind when you think about some wacky shows you've done with Steve?
Carnegie Hall. Yeah. The East Wing in the White House.
Yeah.
They had to kick us out. They had an after party, and we didn't want to leave.
That's pretty good, early gigs for a growing bluegrass band. Yeah.
Indeed. Every band's got to play gigs like that, at some point.
You're working your way up,
right.
Yeah. What about, Steve's such a good entertainer, and he's aware so much about what it's like to be on stage and put a show together. Was that part of your sort of going to school with him too, just learning some things about how to be on a stage?
I think that was a big part of it, and just getting comfortable on those stages. But, Steve as well, he, I think, recognized things in our band that were really effective that maybe we weren't using enough, or he would just suggest, let's do a little bit more of this, do a little bit more of that, and kind of finding our strengths, somebody from the outside,
Yeah.
and encouraging us to play to that a little bit.
Well, it also was a great benefit for him because he's not used to, he didn't have a lot of experience playing with a band. So this was something that he could really connect with, a solid unit that was used to playing in time together and keeping it together. And, that was a great thing for him to work both ways.
It did. The first gig we played with Steve was a huge gig, and at some point the song kind of got sideways, and we landed the plane. And he looked around and just had this huge smile on his face.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. In case you're just tuning in, you're listening to eTown here with the Steep Canyon Rangers. The progress that's come since then, of course, I mean, you're winning your own Grammy for your own record. Now you've got your own festival. What was the evolution of that? Just creating your own festival, your own connection to the community through your music?
Yeah, we love the three of us are from Brevard, North Carolina, which is just south of Asheville, and it's a great small community, and we've received so much support from them. So we decided to figure out a way to give back. And so we started a festival called Mountain Song Festival, and we're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. It's a benefit for the Boys and Girls Club, and we'll hit $500,000 for the club this year in our donations.
Wow.
So we're proud of it.
Wow. I know there's another partnership that you're also working on with a brewery that started here and now has a presence in Western North Carolina, Oscar Blues. And you're doing a bunch of stuff with them, and particularly through their Candid Foundation. Maybe you tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've known Dale for 15 years when we first started coming to Rocky Grass.
Yeah.
And so when they opened their brewery in Brevard, we were knocking on their door. It seemed like a natural fit to partner in some way. And we'd heard about the Candid Foundation and how much they had done to help lions rehabilitate from the flood. And they wanted to do stuff in our community. So it was just a fitting way to join up, and we're kind of their tunes ambassadors. So we're helping take music to young people. So we partnered on a few different fundraisers, and there's a group called the Junior Appalachian Musicians Jam Program that we've raised money for. But it's a nice partnership, and we're really honored to be working with them.
I've seen the videos of you in the brewery too, and you guys are you're packing them. You're drinking beer happily.
That's contractual. That's all that is.
Yeah, it's just. But you're also raising money to get instruments into the hands of young people, as well as give them a little music education too.
Yes.
Well, you guys you just seem like awfully nice people. There must be some dark secrets lurking beneath the surface. I haven't found it yet, but it just sounds too good. You're such nice guys, raising money for the Boys and Girls Club and helping. I mean, it's very positive. A couple of generations before you in bluegrass, it was a different story.
We've heard the tales.
Yes, guys like you plowed the hard road for us. So.
It was dog eat dog out there then, I'm telling you. No, you have so much to be proud of. I want to touch base on just about this, working with Jerry Douglas, a new record, radio, and you've made a couple of adjustments to your sound as you've evolved as a band, introducing percussion, certainly with Jerry playing some lap steel on there. There's some more contemporary sounds, new songs, new songwriting. And I know you're playing festivals. There's a lot of sort of more jam-based festivals that you guys are playing these days. Is that something that seems like a natural fit for you?
It seems like a really natural fit. I mean, I think that crowd has been in the bluegrass forever. It's just finding the right venues for it.
Right.
And but I feel like our crowd spans generations and all different types of people, which sometimes can be a little tricky to find where that middle ground is, where everybody can meet, but everybody should meet, and that's kind of where I think our music falls.
Yeah. Is there a danger, do you think, if you're trying to find that place where you're having universal appeal and you're going to connect to the kids and the old people, that either one of two things will happen? One is that you'll be so much in the middle that you won't have enough character that's unique to yourselves, or B, you're going to be following the trends to the point where you're going to want to try to chase something that's popular, like we're going to sound like Mumford & Sons, or we're going to sound like, String Cheese or something like that.
Well, we have changed our sound, but one thing I like about it is that it was not calculated. It was just where the songs were taking us, and adding the percussion was just a natural thing. And it wasn't like one day we sat down and said, we want to have these fans, we want to be like this band. Right. So it's just happening organically, and we still maintain the bluegrass fan base. We still play the traditional festivals, and they seem to be okay with what we're bringing. And then we, like you said, we can hit the jam crowd and do these rock clubs or theaters. I feel like we're trying to keep our schedule set to where we can kind of hit all people and enjoy it.
Well, it's also true that you're introducing new people to a traditional musical form along the way. There are people who maybe weren't that familiar with bluegrass, but they happen to have been at High Sierra or something like that, and they hear you guys, and that'll lead them towards some other stuff too. So it works both ways, I think.
That happened a lot when we were touring with Steve as well. They're coming to see whatever, a movie star or a comedy show, and they left like a fan of the banjo. So it was cool to be a part of that.
Yeah. Wow, that's
a heavy transformation right there.
They should sign a release before they go to those shows, I think. Yeah. Well, listen, congratulations. We got a lot of music to get to. It's nice to visit with you guys. Nice to see you. It's great to have you here at eTown Hall for your first time. Get to check out this spot and reconnect.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Thanks for having us back here.
We're incredibly impressed with your venue.
Thanks. Thanks, man. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming back.
Will do.
Let's get back to music. Welcome back, Steep Canyon Rangers. Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.